Hello and welcome to Senturus Power BI Visualizations Intermediate. My name is Patrick Powers, trainer, data architect, and developer for Senturus. This module is building visualizations. In this module, we will import a dataset, configure the default properties for different fields, as well as create a basic visualization. Our first step is connecting to a data source. Power BI allows us to connect to just about any type of data source, be it a file such as XLS or CSV, connect to a database directly, or use an online service. To connect to data, we use the Get Data button from the Home tab ribbon. Common connection types will have their own dedicated button, but we can click for more options. Let's bring in some data to use for reporting. The data I'll be using today will come from a local Excel file. In Power BI, make sure you're on the report view, and we want to go to the Home ribbon. From the ribbon, we're going to click on Get Data, Excel. Now, I could have also used the Excel button. They would do the exact same thing. So here we see these are our common ones, and we have them here available under the Get Data button. I'm going to be using PBI Overview Data. I'm going to open that up. And here I see a list of the different sheets that are available in that XLS. If this was a database, it would look exactly the same, just these would be the different tables in the schema I have available. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check dim customer, dim order date, dim product subcategory, dim sales territory, and fact internet sales. With those selected, I'll go ahead and load. But before I click the load button, notice that over here I do get a preview of my data. Data has been truncated due to size limits, but it lets me see what I'm about to bring in. So let's load this. Once the data has been loaded, I see that over here in my Fields pane, each of those tables and the columns that are in each of these. Our next step is going to be getting this ready for reporting. Now that we have our data imported, we want to format it before adding it to a visualization. Remember, data coming from a database or an XLS file are typically not going to be in a user-friendly format. Things like currency or abbreviated numbers, we need to do that as the developer. More importantly, we want to check the aggregation for different fields. Some things may be currently set to sum that shouldn't be, or things may not be set correctly, such as an average where it's come in as a sum. Back here inside of the Power BI environment, over on the right-hand side, we're going to expand out fact internet sales. We want to set the default display properties and aggregation on our measures. So I'm going to click here on sales amount. Notice my contextual ribbons now that I have that selected, and I'm on the column tool as I have a specific column selected. I want to go here to the format. I'm going to change this to currency. And I'm going to specify 2 decimal places. I'm going to repeat these same steps with total product cost and unit price. Now with unit price, I also want to change the aggregation. Unit price is not something I would want to see summed up. The default is, however, sum. So we're going to change this to an average. We can also see that when we brought in this table, Power BI incorrectly identified a field as a measure. The little sigma icon is showing us that it's an aggregated field. We don't want our sales order line number to be aggregated. So we're going to click on that. And under summarization, we're going to say, don't summarize. Next, we'll go to order quantity. And here we do want to go ahead and we want to use a comma This step is important to do not only for our measures, but for every table when we're using a data source for the first time. It's a good best practice to quickly run through and make sure that nothing else has been incorrectly set up. So we're going to go here to dim product subcategory, and we see that product subcategory key has been incorrectly stated as a measure. So I'm going to change that to don't summarize. And then I'll just do a quick look at each of my other fields. Now we've got some issues here with dim order date. Again, we're summarizing things. So we don't want to summarize our year or any of our calendar fields. And now my date table's looking good. Make sure nothing here in the hierarchy. We'll go to dim product, quickly check dim product. And lastly, dim sales territory is looking good. Now that we've got our data set, we're all ready to start building a visualization. Our visualization pane contains different sections that control the behavior for a visualization. Here we see our three separate sections. The main section for dropping fields in for things like the axis, the legend, the value. And these are going to change based on my visualization type. Here I have the formatting section where I can change things like the data color, add labels, adjust the tooltips, and then the analysis section. The analysis section allows me to add things like constant lines or reference lines. Note that not all visualization types will have the same options, if any, available here under the analysis section. In the main work canvas area where the visualizations are, we will see additional controls. These controls are per visualization and have things such as drilling, filtering, searching, or sorting. We'll take a look at each one of these in depth in future videos. Let's return back here to Power BI Desktop, and under Visualizations, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select the clustered column chart. Clicking on this will add it to our canvas. And I'm going to go ahead and resize this so it takes up my entire canvas. And I'm going to come over here to Fields. Under Fact Internet Sales, I'm going to click the checkbox next to Sales Amount. This gives us a single mark representing the sum of sales. Come on up here to Dim Order Date. I'm going to expand out Order Date, Date Hierarchy, and we see that our dates have been put into a pre-built hierarchy. We want just the year, so I'm going to drag year to the legend box in the visualization drop zone area. Now we've got each of our sales values per year. Lastly, I want to add my region. So I'm going to go to dim sales territory, and I'm going to take sales territory region, and I'm going to drag it right on top of the visualization. What we've seen is that there are three different ways to add data fields to a visualization. I can use the checkbox, I can drag it to a specific drop zone area, or I can drag it right on top of a visualization and let Power BI decide where it can go. That concludes this module where we brought data into Power BI Desktop. We set the default formatting and aggregation properties, and we use that data to create a basic visualization. Tune in to our next video where we'll enhance the visualization through sorting. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and check back for the next entry in the series. Thank you for watching.